Hey, Fellowship family, Happy New Year and welcome back to the Church Bulletin podcast. It's so great to have you here. My name is Ben and I'm the video coordinator here. And with me, as always, is the co-host, Emma.
Hi, and I'm the digital media coordinator here, and we are joined by a special guest, Maria Buchanan, our high school coordinator.
Yeah.
For our student ministry, also within our family ministry. So,
Just
Bunch
a
of umbrellas.
minister, some might say. Just a catch-all term for everybody. Every guest we have is a minister.
Minister.
Yeah. And Maria, it feels like, I know, we brought you on because you're kind of new to our staff family, but you've been around the Fellowship family, I guess, for a long time. So it feels weird to call you a new face, but you are kind of a new face for someone who hasn't, I don't know, who's not a young adult or in student ministry, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you started, and remind us when you started, like officially.
Officially, I started in August.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
wow.
This
Gotcha.
past August.
So, gosh, I thought it was like March. So it's only been like 6 months
Yeah.
or so.
Yeah,
Wow.
it really hasn't been that long.
Yeah. Wow.
Crazy.
Well, we'll see if you last through this podcast, and that'll really determine what the next 6 months are going to look
True.
like, right? So,
There's a lot riding on this.
yeah.
True. So, Maria, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I grew up in Topeka, but did not grow up in the church, and came to Christ in college, and I went to K-State. And then for 4 years, just learned a lot about who the Lord was, who I was in the Lord, what that looked like, and then had a lot of opportunities to try ministry, but just never really found exactly what I wanted to do. And then after I was like subbing and working in the schools for a couple years, I decided to actually do the internship here and kind of came into it just like I had no idea what to expect, like what I want out of this. And then it turned into the last day I was literally crying to
Oh, really?
the family ministry team. And I was like, I want this so bad.
Wow.
But there was just like no on-ramp or like anything to get plugged into like staff-wise at that point.
Yeah.
So I just waited. Then I worked at Topeka High for a year, learned a lot about myself, about students.
Yeah.
Still really loved students, still wanted to be around them. And then there was a job opening in student ministry. And so I
Apply.
applied, but I put in my resignation to Topeka High.
You knew.
And then
if this doesn't work out, I'm not working ever again.
Yeah, I was like, this is really going to be in faith because I have no idea if this is going to work.
There you go.
So yeah, I put in my resignation, spent this summer just praying a lot, got married over the summer.
Yeah.
And then
Which is a requirement, apparently, I guess, to work here. So, just totally kidding.
I did not get that memo.
That's what they orchestrated that, right? Like, we'll
Yeah.
hire you if you get married.
Yeah,
this
no. And then in August, late July after summer camp, I interviewed and then started in August.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That
Yeah.
sounds like such a short time for like August wasn't that long ago, kind of. But at the same time, it feels like
You've
you've
been
been here
around.
for a while,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
in this role. It
I
feels
feel like it is helpful that I like volunteered.
Right.
That's
in the
You've been
ministry.
you've been a leader for our student ministry, like just as a volunteer for years? Or...
Yeah, 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've
It's
been
wild.
kind of around, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
hit or
Now
miss.
you're just kind of more on stage than you have been previously, and more in
Yeah.
front than just,
More in front
Yeah.
Yeah.
than just with a smaller group.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, thanks for joining us today. We, as per usual, we are going to be going through some of the things that have been happening here through previous month, which was December, and things that are going to go on this month in January, and things you can kind of look forward to in February and that you don't want to miss. Some of the stuff we'll share, this is we're recording for the whole month, so some of the stuff act fast because it might be outdated. But before we dive into that, Emma is just so graciously reminding me that I'm skipping a whole segment that we were trying to introduce. So let's jump into this. It's our icebreaker question, okay?
Okay.
So you've shared a little bit about, what you've done, but now we
Yes.
want to know the real deal. when rubber meets the road and you have to choose one of these options, which are you
Okay.
taking? Okay. All right. We're gonna go with this since
Seems so
it is winter themed. Okay.
Okay.
So it's cold outside, right? And you know the Kansas weather. I mean, it could be 50 degrees today, but it could be -2 tomorrow. So
True.
the would you rather question is: would you rather spend 12 days outside nonstop? You walk outside in the morning, you don't come back
Until you
inside
sleep?
to anywhere.
Oh,
and
like you're
for-
sleeping
12 days
outside.
straight.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll let you gather some supplies, but only what you can carry with you. 12 days outside in the winter, or 120 days inside, and you can't step outside once. Like you can't, let's just say to make it easier, you can't open your doors, right? You can open your windows, let some fresh air in the house, but it's
Okay.
120 days. So that is a third of the year. So which one would you rather do?
Oh my.
Yeah. Emma can answer if you
Yeah,
need to
I do
think.
have my answer already.
Yeah, we
primed
kind
already.
of we threw this on you. We talked about this earlier.
Okay.
Would you
before
like
we
me to
started.
share my
yeah,
thought process?
share your thoughts.
I know this probably isn't for everybody, but I would honestly choose the 120 days inside.
Really?
Yeah. Because I
Wow.
have things at my disposal in my house to pass the time. I know I would get stir crazy and
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be easy, but especially in the winter, 12 days outside, no, I just don't want to. I'm also
feel
just
like
like
you could-
imagining myself sitting in my front yard for 12 days.
In the
don't wanna do
cold,
that. Yeah.
There's not even many things you could do in the cold.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, like-
no thanks.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, what? So it sounds like you're going 120 here.
I think I'm also going 120.
Are you really?
I like the outdoors and
Oh
I
my
don't
gosh.
mind being cold,
Right.
but I think like that long in the cold is a different level of cold. Like I don't
Yeah.
think
I
I
mean,
can fathom
And
that cold.
boredom. Because like
Yeah,
I
and
can't
what
charge
would
my
you
You're talking
do?
120 days inside.
Inside, why-
But
have
there's
things.
books, there's TV, there's
I can charge my phone inside.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're all adults here. We had to live through lockdown, and there was
Yeah.
nothing to do, and
But-
people were going crazy for like 10,
But now I
20
know.
days.
Now I know.
Weird. That
Now I
prepared
know,
us.
now I know.
That prepared us for this. Would
If
you
I
rather
can do it for
question?
12 days, I can do it for 10 times that long. Oh my gosh. Like you can't get in your car. Like you have to
I'm okay not
you have to
driving.
DoorDash everything. I mean if you don't have someone who's willing to help you, you're on your own for
But
like
couldn't you get like hypothermia and like die or something?
have you heard of fire? I mean, it's only been around for a couple thousand years.
I don't know how to build a fire. I
fire.
don't feel confident that I could build a fire and like
Just
survive.
watch
No.
a season of Survivor. You'll learn how to
I also don't think whatever fire I might be able to scrounge together and build will not keep me collectively warm.
Okay, so I'm just making my own rules for this, I guess. I'm saying you can go outside anywhere. Like you could go to like, I don't know, public land. You could work out something with somebody. Be like, hey, I got to do this. Can I just stay on your land and burn some sticks from you? You know, like if you're in an apartment, I get it. Like, what are you gonna sit on your back porch? You know,
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
you know, you could go to like a campsite. You could rent a campsite for 12 days. Yeah, winter rates are cheap.
And I barely have anything with me.
You can
Would I
bring
bring
anything that
bring
you
a
can
tent?
carry with you.
Could
Like,
I bring like
a
12
sleeping bag.
books so I could read a book a day?
Absolutely. You can bring a book. You could bring a sleeping bag if you can carry it with you, and a blanket.
My 12 books.
And fire.
sleeping bag.
See, you guys are blowing my mind. I felt like the answer is easy. Like humans have been living outside forever. Like so. Like
Yeah.
Adam was made outside.
In
You
the
know?
garden.
It's
Yeah.
been a long time since then, Benjamin, and I just don't.
He was designed for that. We live in
Oh
a
my
broken
God.
world.
Yeah, it's because there's no sin. Everyone knows it didn't get to -5 until sin entered the world.
That's gotta be sin.
It's got to be. It's got to be from sin. The brokenness right there. New heaven, new earth will be 73 degrees all the time.
And sunny with a
And
gentle,
sunny.
cool breeze.
Yeah,
Yes.
a smooth breeze. Not enough to shake you up,
No.
but enough to keep you cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank
Sounds
you guys for
perfect.
playing ball with that. That's you can always comment or anything and let us know what you think. I feel like the answer is so easy, but apparently I'm in the
My answer
minority today.
also feels easy.
Yeah, apparently I'm in the minority on this today. Well, we should probably jump into what we're actually wanting to talk about today. So some of the things coming up, some of the things that have happened in the month of December that we would just kind of want to circle back and celebrate are the Christmas offering, which as of the recording of this podcast, we haven't finished. But we're about halfway through the month of December. Halfway through the campaign for this Christmas offering. And so far we have raised $64,000, I believe, is the last that I saw. So we are almost to the next threshold of $90,000. So hopefully by the end of this month, we'll be there, maybe even to our third. And if you missed it, what our Christmas offering is all about is helping Pastor Forna and his church in Sierra Leone, which they are a ministry partner with us. In fact, they're a ministry partner that we helped like over 10 years ago, fund their church, like building their church. And Joe's been able to go out there. Some of our ministry teams have been able to go out there. And we just have a very real and tangible connection with their church. And so this whole Christmas season, we are funding expansions to schools for their tech school for girls in the area, their parsonage expansion, so they can actually have a pastor on site. And I think just general chapel upgrades and expansions for more people to come because they're maxing out, which is an awesome thing. Yeah. So hopefully, we might be able to, hopefully our video editor might be able to even throw in some quick details if we have even more updates for you. But things are doing above, I think, expectations even. Like the generosity of our church family has been amazing. And the fact that we can even reach out and talk to the people we're helping, and they can say, we're starting work on this today because you guys were able to, get this to us. So it's happening now, which is awesome. And we got another big thing that happened in December, and I just talked to our tech arts director, Dalton, and he just told me as of today, they are packed up completely from Bethlehem Experience.
Nice.
So Emma, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you didn't know what Bethlehem Experience was, where have you been?
Yeah.
But also,
probably not in Bethlehem.
Probably not in Bethlehem. We had 2 full weekends of a Saturday through Sunday experience where we basically build Bethlehem and what first century Bethlehem could have looked like. And it's people can come, and it's a free tour that they get to take. They have a tour guide and everything, and a really great opportunity to get to, learn about the world in which Jesus was born into. And so it's a really cool experience. We've done it for 4 years now.
This is our 4th. Yep.
And I do have some numbers for y'all. We had 3,278 people attend. So that's so awesome. And out of that, 3,000-ish, we had 1,818 people that were brand new to Bethlehem Experience. They had never gone through it before. And I remember when we promote Bethlehem Experience, or we bring it up to our fellowship family, it is a big ask of invite anyone. Yeah.
Just
anyone.
Yeah.
Because it's such a cool experience. And that number I think is really a good testament to people inviting those that they come in contact with every day, or anyone off the cuff.
For sure.
Never know.
Yeah, for sure.
And also a huge thank you to Coal Creek Construction and Mason Concepts.
Oh, yes.
They helped out in a massive way.
It was so impressive watching them.
Oh my gosh.
Put it all together.
Yeah, all together.
Let me just step back and
load
watch
in
you
and
guys.
out. Yes. It was also, it was just really cool.
Super, super talented people coming together for this. And so it's really cool to see.
Yes, absolutely.
So those are kind of our big things going on, and obviously Christmas. But those are some of the big things we get to celebrate here today. So going into January, which is, as you're watching this now, and
it's
stuff
2025.
It's 2025, people. Come
Crazy.
on. Yeah, it's definitely not still 2024 for us right now.
No way. That's long gone.
We have a bunch of things starting up, and some of it, depending on when you're watching, might have already started. But it's basically our life care classes and our discipleship classes. Those are having tons of things starting up, and marriage classes, grief share, divorce care, Bible
Boundaries.
studies, boundaries. If you have any interest, and even if it's the end of January, just go to our events page and just scan it, just check it out and see if anything sticks out to you. Because I promise you, even if you're the last one to sign up for a class, and if you are interested, reach out, because we'll make room for you as best we can. And there's just a lot of stuff starting up in January. That's kind of like a new year, new class, as they say, and they do say.
Yeah,
They do say.
They do say.
And if you do happen to miss some of these classes, they all within reason, or like within the topical studies of some of the Bible studies, but like all these classes start again in the fall. And so if you're able and are wanting to wait for that, you can wait for that if you did not get to sign up.
Able is one of the classes.
Yeah.
So check that out. Stuff's happening now. So the best place for that is our events page if you really want to know. Some of the stuff we can prep you for, though. Wait, actually, no. Before we do that, I'm jumping ahead of myself.
Yeah.
One of the coolest things coming back in January is Surge.
Yes,
right?
the coolest.
The
Yeah,
coolest.
well, we're all biased
We
because
are
we
all
all help with Surge.
Yeah.
But we have someone here who is part of Surge in a very
I am.
official capacity now.
I am.
So, Maria, why don't you tell us a little bit, very briefly, about hey, I'm new to fellowship and I don't know what Surge is.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with Surge, we serve 7th through 12th graders. Next fall, if you're a 6th grader, you get to join us.
That's
That's
right.
right.
We're kind
Yeah.
of expanding.
Forgot.
We're expanding our middle school, so we are also expanding. So we gather on Wednesdays, and we have a hangout time where you can use the gym, play 9 Square, hang out with your friends. Dialogue is open.
Yeah, get some dialogue.
And then we come together and we worship together. Ben usually leads us in that. Thank you, Ben.
That's true.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
And then we hear a short message, whether that's from myself or Tim or Ryan or whoever else we invite, I guess.
Yeah,
And so we just get to dig into the word together, and then we break out into small groups by grade and gender. So
yeah.
you get to interact with each other, build community, dig into the word a little bit deeper. It's a really good time. If I had something like that in high school,
Oh my goodness.
gosh, I think my life would be completely different.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I am at Wednesday nights at Surge, and I'm like, I wish I would have came
Yeah.
here when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And
Couldn't
then-
commute from Holton.
And what's funny is that I was commuting for the weekend, just never on a Wednesday.
Yeah, I can do it for a morning, but not an evening.
Hey,
Yeah.
I was a teenager.
Yeah, it's okay.
There's grace.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
in January, we're going to start a series called Guardrails.
Okay.
So if you're ever curious about boundaries or what is right or wrong in specific situations, what the Bible has to say about your friends or substance uses and stuff like that, it's a good time to come check us out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know that we're going to dive deep into it for the whole series, but this kind of I think this is branch off of what Tim usually talks about for our junior senior retreats with Guardrails, and just those talks when we do our junior senior retreat, which is also coming up, I think.
That's true. In February.
February,
in February. We'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah, the next one, next episode.
But
Tune
yeah,
back in.
he's just able to share so much wisdom because he's been doing student ministry for decades. So he's
Longer than I've
seen
ever
it
been
and
alive.
lived it. Yeah.
Sorry, Tim.
Yeah, we love you, Tim. We love you, Tim.
It's just so much wisdom.
Yeah, so much
So
wisdom
much,
wrapped
so
in a
much.
silly goofball of a guy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, such beneficial time because the reality is our students are living in the world. We're not
Right.
we're not isolated from the world. So just how do we interact with that?
Yeah, and be equipped well to do it.
Yep. Love well, not run away.
Yeah.
But also not be swept away
Right.
at the same time. So that's kind of stuff starting in January. Some of the stuff coming up in February, which you have no excuse because we're going to give you, you've got potentially the entire month of January, depending on when you're tuning in to prepare for this. So, Emma, what's some of the stuff coming up? Our last call for stuff in February.
February things include our marriage ministry, their launch class, and merge start back up in February, early February. So look into that. Men's virtual golf. I honestly don't know what that is.
It's like golf. You ever heard of that?
But it's virtual.
But yeah, so check it out. Like virtual.
Have you been?
I have not been, but I haven't been with the men's group that goes.
Oh, okay.
But
you've been where they
I've
go?
been to virtual golfing stuff. So
It's like a place you go to?
yeah, I believe we got Liam. I think we're still going to 8 Iron Therapy, which is
you're right,
northeast Topeka, not northeast, southeast Topeka, like Hurco 29th area.
Yeah, by the lake.
By the lake. Thankfully not outdoors because it's February for this.
But
But
we wanted to spend 12 days out there. So.
you know what? And I would do it in a heartbeat. Okay.
Cannot wrap my mind around that
Put
one.
me on, what's that show? Alone? Put me on Alone. I'm going in for the million, baby. I'm going to do it. I can do it. I couldn't do it. I'd mentally go insane.
I know you would.
So yeah, but virtual golf, a great time. If you're a guy, like, any sort of, like, even if you're just like 18, like in finishing up high school, and it's a great time if you are just looking for someone to, like, for some guys to talk to. Like, I have never been around, like, our men's ministry group of guys is such a uplifting and encouraging group of guys. Like, I think as a guy who's not very athletic and sporty, like, I go into stuff and I immediately like, oh, my competence is going to be in question here. And even if you make a fool of yourself, like, those guys are just, like, you can tell in what they say, like, everyone's for each other.
Yeah.
And so, you don't always get that with a group of guys. But it is so refreshing to have. So I think it speaks volumes to our volunteer leaders, our men's leaders who are just making that culture there. So,
For sure.
yeah. And then we talked about our junior senior retreat for students coming up.
Yeah.
So
Like mid-February.
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 Yep. So
I would say sign up, but we already, filming this in December, have a wait list.
oh
So-
no.
Oh, yeah, that makes
Wow.
sense.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
heading to Colorado,
We're going to Colorado, gonna
Yep.
stay in a cabin,
Wow.
go skiing.
go skiing,
It's gonna
do
be
all
awesome.
the outside snowy things.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be
It's
ton of
beautiful
fun.
out there.
Yeah. I'm excited, but yeah, we do already have a wait list.
Mm-hmm.
So you could join in faith, but
Joining Fate.
cannot make promises.
Yeah.
Just join us in praying for our students and
Yeah,
leaders that are
for
going.
sure.
Yep. And then we have our worship night on February 2nd. So, I mean, this is your last call for that because January is going to be over in worship night.
Yeah, January I'm scared is going to go by in a blink of an eye.
It's okay.
Totally.
That's okay. My birthday's in January, so I'll be counting down to that. So, just in case anyone's curious, But the worship night on February 2nd is also worth counting down for.
Absolutely.
So it'll be a lot of fun. I think that it's one of the most refreshing things that we do is just a time. I mean, I'm biased because I help with worship, but a time where we can just come in and focus on worship. Because honestly, as someone who's just always thinking about, like, what's this sound like? How's this going? Is everyone where they need to be? Is everything going the way it should? It takes me like 2 or 3 worship songs just to relax, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
Just to be like, okay, I'm here, I'm present. And then, because we have to make room for everybody on the weekend, that's about when worship has to end on the weekends. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But time for worship, it's like, okay, sweet. I can just be here, relax, and, just enjoy this.
Yeah,
So,
and I love seeing what Bill and the worship team and volunteers like put together for that.
Yep.
They do it
absolutely.
with so much like intentionality and heart. And it's really cool to just be there. and
Absolutely.
Experience it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, church family, I think that's all we have for you. But Maria, thank you for being
Yes.
here with us. It's so great to have you.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely.
course,
So
of
if you see
course.
Maria around, make sure you say hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tell her how silly it is to choose 120 days inside
No,
instead of 12 easy
Or
days.
let her know that you
You
agree.
agree. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
probably
all right.
most likely going to happen.
We agree to disagree. Well, again, thank you for joining us and staying updated, staying posted here on the Church Bulletin. We'll see you again in February.
Bye, Fellowship.
Bye.